What up, what up, what up? This your boy Oshin. You already know who I'm in the building with. Willie Negro.
What up, what up, what up?
Yo, it was a few things that I wanted to get off my chest last time. And getting it off now. Or whatever. So, I was talking to a couple of people. No, actually, I want to start off with this one. At what age does forgiveness end? Let me preference that. I feel when you're younger, you're learning life. From, let's say, from 1 to 20. No, not that's too far. 1 to 15. 1 to 15, you're learning life. I'm a person that believes that the only way you learn to not do something is having had done it and got a bad result from it. So remember how we talked about before when we was like, yo, you only not do sucker stuff because you did a sucker move before and you was checked about it. I don't think you should get condemned for the rest of your life at those younger ages. It's because it's like you only know what you're taught. Now the thing about it is, when you're younger, you're more forgiving. Because if a person just doesn't know, they just don't know. That's like the dude that be talking behind dude's back to get laid. That's a sucker move. But we know that's a sucker move. But when you're younger, it's kind of wrapped up in I'm doing whatever I gotta do to get because your mind is more focused on the result as opposed to the method on how it's done. And when you're younger, it's kind of that by any means necessary, just do whatever you gotta do. If you gotta talk behind the dude back, then talk behind the dude back. If you gotta stab somebody in the back, metaphorically, then stab him in the back. Because those things have happened to me, and dudes have been like, yo, I'm just saying I don't mean that. I was just trying to hit it. And it's kind of like, yo, you kind of still feel away, but at the younger ages, it's like, yo, he don't know no better. Because it's like other things involved with it. If they don't got no old heads around them, then they might not know. Now the issue is this. When dudes or people do those kind of funny style moves, now here we are, you in that next phase. You like 21, 22, and you still doing the same thing. I can't forgive it then. Because you know better. You know better at that point.
Yeah, well, you would think that people know better, but a lot of guys don't grow up as fast as other guys. A lot of guys ain't from cities where you got to grow up. A lot of guys ain't been put into situations where they haven't been put into these type of situations at a younger age. So when you 21, 22, 23, you're really still a kid, and it's especially for some guys, they be really, really green. You know what I mean? They be kids for real. So they really going through these experiences for the first time. So I understand what you're talking about, but some dudes really just be young and they just was corny when they was younger, and now they got, you might have their first job, got a little bit of money, and chicks is interested in them, and they trying to by any means necessary kick somebody back in to make. But when you get up to your late 20s, early 30s, you got a little bit of life on you. You know what I mean? You live life, and sometimes your personality just is your personality. Maybe you was doing that when you was young and nobody checked you. Whatever the reason may be, maybe you get good results from it. Whatever the reason may be, at some point you just are who you are. You know what I mean? So I understand. Like I still give grace, maybe because I'm an old head now. Like I just look at 21, 22, 23-year-olds as still, they young adults, but they still kids. They still haven't lived a lot of life. But when you get up to 27, 28, you know what I mean? You should be, winding down, coming into the man that you're going to be. You know what I mean? The man that you are at them ages. You probably starting your career then. You're not just getting a job. You're not just got jobs. You try starting your career, or you kind of figured out how to get some money. You know what I mean? You done had a couple girls by then. You done been through some situations where you don't need to navigate out of desperation. You see what I'm saying? So when you're not navigating out of desperation and you still grimy, sometimes people just be grimy. So to answer your question, at what age is forgiveness? Are you done with forgiveness? I would say probably late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, nah, that's just probably who you are. You know what I mean? Like if you're willing to stab somebody in the back to get the results that you have, you know what I mean? If you have low integrity, then you just have low integrity. You know what I mean? Like at some point, you're not learning no more. Like you said, that's just who you are.
And the thing about it is, you answered eloquently, but I'm saying, we're not going to rehash it, but it's like, at what age do you be like, you know what? I'm not forgiving that. That's what you said, around 20. I'm probably a little younger than that. I'm going to go 25. For all the reasons you said, I'm just dropping the age to about 25. Because I feel as a guy around 25, you've had some experiences.
That's valid.
Dudes show weaknesses in women. It's so, women like to talk about insecurities. That's the biggest one. Dudes show real weaknesses when women are involved. Now, my thing is this. If you hanging around dudes, and you that guy, and nobody in your crew is ever doing nothing, that really reflects on your crew. That means you're not really hanging with no real, as my Philly Bulls were saying, no real thorough balls. You know what I'm saying? You're not really hanging with nobody like that. Because if you hanging around dudes that do their thing too, this has happened to you before too. I've been out with you. I've been out with other cats. And we all see the bad joint. And we all thinking that, you know what I'm saying, maybe I should holler. And the chick hollers at one of y'all. Competition-wise, I'm like, this nigga got it. I'm not hating, but I'm like, this nigga got it. But this is the price this is what goes on when you hanging around a certain caliber of dudes. And I'm not changing the circle because sometimes that circle is going to get you other things with it. This ain't all about just hooking up. It's just, you in that circle, she looking around, she confused. Dang, it's about 4 of them that I could talk to. So now it boils down to what you said. Let me see his personality. Because he may I may think he looks a little better than him, but let's see his personality. But I ain't gonna commit to him fully because I may see what this dude is talking about. Oh, dad. And we've been out and we been in groups and chicks will be like, chicks will choose, dudes will choose, but chicks will choose. And it's like they'll play down the middle, and by the end of the night, she might have started talking to you. By the end of the night, I kind of like how this one over here is moving. I like how he talk. I like how he carry. I like his mindset. But that's when you hanging around dudes. And if you're fearful of that happening and you keep hanging with, lack of a better word, corny dudes, then that's all on you.
Yeah, because integrity is integrity. You see what I'm saying? If somebody is willing to, dirty Mac, talk behind your back, or do something like that to get it girl, then you have to ask the question, what are they willing to do for a couple of dollars? You see what I'm saying? Somebody dangle some money in their face and then they sell you out to dry. You know what I mean? Like, it's integrity is integrity. So when I look at people, especially when they, like you said, they hit that 25, 26, 27-year-old age, you're not moving out of desperation no more. You know what I mean? You done had a couple chicks. You know what I mean? You done did hopefully, unless you just, but you done had a couple, you done had a couple rendezvous. You done been around the block a couple times. So you're not moving out of desperation. So your integrity is going to show how you're going to act in all situations. You know what I mean? I just try to stay away from low integrity people. You know what I mean? Because you never know where you stand with them. You know what I mean? You never know where you stand. Like they right by you 1 second, and if it's more advantageous to be over there, they'll leave and go over there.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts. Okay. Another one on some street stuff. Honor amongst thieves, rat culture and all that. I think rat culture is kind of BS, and this is why I'm saying that. I still believe the old school tag versions, is it's a parallel. You joke about dudes that when you playing hide and go seek, you get caught, they yell where everybody else is at. Instead of just being like, nah. Because how we used to play coming up is we would play like roundup. And if I'm with you and 4 other people, y'all go hide, I know where y'all spots is at. You had a choice. You round up and go get the dudes, or you just sit out, but you got to be at next game. I always pick be out next game. Because to me, that was sucker. I know where Negro is. I know where he's hiding. Nah, I want to go ahead, finish it out. I got caught. All right. Yo, you going to play or you going to, nah, I'm going to be at next game. I'll go do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. And I knew a few dudes that used to just come, they get caught and they never was trying to be it the next game. And I'm not going to mention no names. You know, people will see this and you can imagine who. And it's not attacking them fully, but they kind of live their life that way too. I get caught, I'm bringing the whole thing down or whatever. We always talk, people talk about honor amongst thieves. There's that it's almost an oxymoron because, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm just gonna jump right to it. Alpo was supposed to be a rat and everything or whatever. That's how his last 30 years was put out there as if, you know, he's a rat, this, that, and the third. I ain't never called him a rat. And I'm going to tell you why. I did say he ratted, tattletale, whatever you want to call it. When I heard his interview from jail, and he said something that was poignant to me. He said, call it a rat, call me a rat, call me tattletale, call me whatever. He said, I call it Poe looking out for Poe. He was like, yo, we in the streets. I don't owe y'all niggas nothing. He was like, yo, I'm going to do what's best for me all the time. You can't choose when to have a certain type of integrity because the thing about it is this. Everybody's morals are totally different. There are no one set of morals. Now, the average person is going to be like, see, that's what I mean. That's rat's a sucker move. You can call it what you want to call it. But one thing I know about it is this. You can't kill a man for telling you who he is. You see what I'm saying? That's like, I used to tell, I had a situation before, because I'm ready to jump in. It was a situation before, and this is real life. This is why I'm definitely not saying no names. A dude could have got killed. I was looking, I saw the dude walking. My man saw him, he's like, yo, he went and told the dude who was looking for him, yo, this nigga just walked by. Go get this nigga. That was his opportunity. I ran up there, mind you, I'm running up there behind it. I ain't got no gun. I don't want to shoot this dude. I don't even really have no beef with him. But being nosy. Now, mind you, I was like 15 years old. So just whatever. So they go up there. He's not at the train station. He's gone. Friend of mine turns to me. He says, yo, man, I'm kind of glad we didn't catch up with him right there. I was like, why? He was like, because you was there. And he was like, this not what you do. He said, you might have had to tell on us and everything. And he was like, this ain't what you do. And he was like, he was a little older. And you know, when you're younger, I think I was 15, he might have been 18, 19. But those years are a big difference. It's an ocean of a difference when you're that younger. And he never told me, like me and him are still friends to this day. He was like, nah, I wasn't calling you a rat, but he was like, you not cut from that. He was like, yo, you didn't do anything. You was just there. He says, you have to tell. He said, it's almost crazy. He said, yo, you kind of almost have to tell if you would have got caught. So he says, honestly, I probably should have told you chill, don't follow. He said that. And he was like, going forward, I would never tell you to follow up with us. But he said, I'm glad it didn't happen just now. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So
because I think people like to put words on things like that's cool, like rat and all that shit. Alpo absolutely was a rat. Looking out for yourself and telling on somebody else is ratting. What I'll say is this. Let's take the word rat off the table. And like you said, it's high integrity and low integrity.
Facts.
The reason that you didn't that you was going to be it the next game is because you knew where their hiding spaces was. They knew where yours was. So just integrity would be like, all right, we do this. You see what I'm saying? We do this, so I'm not going to do that to you because we do this. You see what I'm saying? Now, what your man was saying is you don't do this. So it would be crazy for you not to tell. You not in this. Alpo was in it. You see what I'm saying? He was in it. It's low integrity for me to say, hey, yo, they stealing over there too. We all do this. We all in this. That's low integrity for me to get caught for what I did and tell on somebody else for what they did so I can get out of what I did. You see what I'm saying? I got caught. It's okay. Hey, it's a part of it. It's part of what we do. But that's in anything. It don't have to be criminal activities. Yeah. If I'm doing something and that we all, it was having a conversation the other day, and they was talking about cheating or something. Would you tell if you was cool with the girl? Would you tell the girl that her man was cheating on him if you was out and seen him cheating? And the nigga was like, well, as a nigga who cheat, no. I do this. I know what it feel like to get jammed up. No, I'm not going to tell her. They're like, even if she your friend? Yeah, no, I'm not going to tell her. Nigga, I cheat on girls. Nigga, we do this. Like, what do you do? Would I like jamming him up? That ain't got nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, and me as a person who is not out here cheating, understood perfectly what he was saying. Like, yo, hey, this is what we do. Like, yo, I'm not gonna tell on him.
Especially when you don't even know the circumstances.
Right.
Think about cheating and all that other stuff. You don't know the caveats involved. You don't even know where the couple stands in their relationship.
Right.
You don't know. It's a lot of things. People talk from a surface level, like, well, this is what I seen. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
And like you said, something with that, people will take the holier than thou type of stance.
Yes.
When they do that. Because like you said, well, I don't do this or such and such. But yet there'll be some of the ones that do that kind of stuff too, but kind of caveat everything that they're doing a certain way. So yeah, I just want to see what that was about because, like you said, low integrity. He was in it. He knew not to say nothing, but it's one of those. It's not a but. He is who he was who he was. What I'm saying is this. If you choose to continue doing business with this dude, knowing what kind of low integrity he has, you can't be surprised when it goes down that way.
Well,
I think that's why I was going with it.
Yeah, but that's why they have to label you. You see what I'm saying? When you have low integrity, that's why they have to put something on it. He's a rat. So now we can't mess with him. Because in this fraternity, whatever it is, be it crime, be it whatever it is, in this fraternity, he turned his back on that. He broke the rules. Like, we can't mess with him because he has low integrity. He's going to get you jammed up. You know what I mean? Because in a situation like that, I always find it crazy. Like, even as kids, like, yo, if you get caught doing something, you can't just be like, yo, he in the bush. Like, yo, everybody come out, we caught. No, you caught, nigga. Like, yo, why are you doing that to us? You know what I mean? So if you do that, then we can't be friends no more. We can't be cool. If you get jammed up, then we get jammed up. Can you imagine being out with your guys and y'all get into some crazy stuff, and then he get jammed up with his girl, and then he start telling everybody business? Like, yo, we all did it. That's crazy. Yo, we all was out there. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like that's gonna make it less of like, yo, you got caught, you got jammed up, you got caught. Why would you tell on everybody? It's low integrity. You see what I'm saying? We can't mess with you no more. You know what I mean? Like, street dudes just got a label for it. They just call it a rat. You know what I mean? But low integrity is low integrity. You can't, like, you can't associate with people like that.
In a relationship, who has to be more interesting, the man or the woman? Who do you think has to be more interesting?
The man or the woman?
I believe the man got to be more interesting. And this is my reasoning. A lot of women aren't interesting or entertaining to a degree. Like, women kind of just show up. Now, that's not to say I've never dealt with somebody that wasn't funny or interesting. You have different levels of interest. But I think when I'm saying that, let me clear it up. I think it's more about who can carry the conversation or carry the type of activities and things you do or whatever. Because I kind of feel as a guy, like if you going on vacations and you do expeditions, like you going out the country and stuff, you can't be a guy like, they want somebody to try it out first. Or let her do it. She good. Like, no, we gotta do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The first time I went horseback riding, and that joint was fun. It was more fun than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. I ain't never rode on a horse through like woods and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. I did I think I was a kid doing the whole pony. Just on that. Please, this joint you got to hold on. And I'm already an overactor. So the only way I know how to ride a horse is I was doing what I thought they was doing on TV. So I'm up here. Please, they was like, yo, you don't have to do it that way. I'm up here. I'm smacking the crap out this horse. He was like, calm down before he throws you off or whatever. Because I'm on there like, I'm with one hand like, yeah. He was like, it's kind of right, but you got to calm down. But I say all that to say, I can't let my lady go first and let me go see if she take the lead. Guys, we got to take the lead with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to take the bullet. That is metaphorically and literally. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's like, yo, we have to put out there. So if you're in a relationship and your woman is kind of carrying it, and like women like men that can serve court and work a room. Like if you're just there and you just on some old, she told me y'all guys were funny and cool. Like, no, she wants to see how you work the room. She wants to see if you able to stand above the rest or talk from the standpoint of the head of the table. Like, ding, ding, ding. All right, look here. This is what we doing. And you got to talk with confidence, things like that. If it's your woman making all the toast, raise your glasses. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Now that I think about it, women will lead the toast when it's all women. Mm-hmm. It's all women. But when it's that, the man has to have galvanizing power. You have to be able to galvanize the masses, the minis, everything else. And you have to galvanize the relationship. And I think a lot of times, dudes let it fall by the wayside. And because they're caught up in this, I ain't want to take over, me and her, we 50-50. 50-50 ain't with everything. That ain't with everything.
I think I agree. I think in most cases men should lead. I also think women need to be interesting. I think that in a relationship, the relationships that last a long time, you are able to entertain each other. You see what I'm saying? And I do think that women depend on men for entertainment more than men depend on women. But to hold a man's attention, you're going to need more than just sex. You're going to need more than just sex and food. You see what I'm saying? To hold a man's attention after you eat and after you fuck, like, all right, we're going to have a conversation. You're going to have to understand my humor. You're going to have to laugh. You're going to have to make me laugh. You know what I mean? Like, so I do think that in a relationship, you have to entertain each other. But I also agree with you that men are natural leaders. And women want, for the most part, most women want a man to take the lead in most situations. In most situations, they want you to grab the hand and pull you through it. You know what I mean? And because it's a security thing. They want to feel protected. You know what I mean? They just want to feel protected. So who has to be more interesting? I don't know, but you have to keep each other's attention. You know what I mean?
Publicly, I think the man has to be more interesting. Publicly, at least publicly. I'm not saying that's a woman. I'm not saying that's a woman that has no interest publicly. But I just think as the head of the household, I think the man always needs something extra with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's like when a man, it sounds bad.
I don't think so.
When a man allows a woman to be who she is.
I just think that you have to keep your woman entertained. But publicly, it's a lot of extrovert, outgoing, loud, outspoken women who have milder personality men. For example, what's the chick name?
Jocelyn.
No, I'm I'm talking about John Legend and his wife. His wife is over the top, out, just loud and everything in the public.
And he's just everyday people.
Yo, you gotta chill. Everyday people is crazy, but ordinary people, yes. Ordinary. Yeah, but he be chilling, but she's crazy. But I'm sure he's the leader in that relationship. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure that in private he is really entertaining her. You see what I'm saying? But in the public, she gonna take the mic. She gonna say the craziest thing. She gonna be. It's just her personality. She got a loud personality. You know what I mean? So I think that a woman can be like that entertain the loud one, the extra one in public. But I do think as a man, you and behind those closed doors, you have to you're the leader. You know what I mean? You have to take charge.
Okay. Yeah, I see you didn't really fall for the bait the way it was and everything. I was talking to another friend. Because that's what I kind of did this week. I kind of spoke to a lot of my women friends, and I got some of the topics and stuff based off the conversations we were having. And I told one of them, I said, women have to learn how to separate themselves outside of just their looks and their body. Now, how we came up with that is, I still don't understand how women are operating in this space of, don't get mad at me for my standards. I think women always confuse standards and preference. Because those are two distinctive, and they're mutually exclusive.
Yes.
Not even as much, women try to make it sound like it's the same. No, they are mutually exclusive because your standards and what you prefer are two different things. But I think women try to gumbo it. And my whole thing is, when they do those kind of things, this is why they're still on the merry-go-round, talking about, oh, I want this kind of guy. I want this. He's got to have A, B, C, da. And guys like us, we sit there looking like, you want what? Okay, money, such, career. Oh, there you go right there. He's right there. But he's still walking. He's not even looking at you because all you are is a bad chick. Matter of fact, forget just being a bad chick. Cool. You got money. You got your house and stuff. But you have no personality. There's nothing extra about you. I keep telling women, if you want to attract these kind of dudes and this kind of thing, you have to have intangibles. Because your tangibles don't mean anything to a guy that has a life of tangibles. You know, like it just doesn't hit him the same way. And I keep trying to explain to women, you have to show guys why he should pick you. See, they don't like hearing that. They don't like hearing, oh, we pick each other. That's not how that works. It's way more y'all than us. Dudes is choosing. Y'all are choosing too, and y'all don't have to settle for anything. But for this upper echelon type of dude that you claiming you want, you're going to have to show
I don't
him.
like that though. So because you might have to settle for something.
Yeah.
For something. You might, because that is the difference between the preferences and the standards. You see what I'm saying? You might have to settle for a nigga that's not 6'4". You see what I'm saying? You might have to settle for a nigga that's not rich. You might have to settle for a guy that, you know, whatever it may be. So, but you have certain standards. You know what I mean? You don't have to settle for a guy that put his hands on you. You don't have to settle for a guy that don't make you feel good. You know what I mean? Because these are things that are standards, like in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, yo, because when you get caught up in the preferences, then what you have as a standard starts to dwindle. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, yo, he got all this money, he buy me things, he tall, he look good, but he treat me like shit. He be out with all the women, and if I say something, he might hit me. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, those are the standards. He should treat you good. He should never hit you, and you probably don't want to be cheated on, right? Those are the standards. But when you start to talk about all this other stuff, they should be the preferences. Yes, everyone has preferences. Everyone prefers. A lot of men prefer the certain body style that they want, and prefer a certain height or a certain look. But you know, you might get most of that, but you might not get all of it, because somebody just make you feel so good that don't even matter anymore. You see what I'm saying? Somebody just make you feel so good and cook so well and just rub you in the right place and touch you in the right place that you like, all right, what? Forget all that. I want this every day. You know what I mean? So you hit it right on the head when you said preferences versus standards. And for the women who have their looks is everything, that is how you attract a man. It's by looks. Let's just be real. Like, men like a certain look of a woman. They like pretty women, curvaceous women. Some men like slim women. But you know, you attract, you look the part and you attract that type of man. You see what I'm saying? But that doesn't keep a man. You know what I mean? That'll get you some attention, but that's not what's going to keep a man. What's going to keep a man is really one thing: how you make him feel, for real. You know what I mean? How do you stroke his ego? Are you a soft place to land? Can he talk to you? How do you feel when you hold a conversation? You know what I mean? That's how you keep a man. That's also how you keep a woman. But men, I believe, have it a little harder. You got to have some security tied up in that too. You know what I mean?
Companionship versus the fantasy of a relationship. That's what I mean by that. I think after you've been in so many relationships, even all the way up into a marriage, I think people, if you think about, I'm not going to say if you think about some of your best relationships, because clearly if you're married, fine, you know, we get it. That's supposed to have been your number one out of all relationships you ever had, because you chose to marry that person and they chose to marry you, whatever. But let's just say past that. After said marriage or great relationship, sometimes people don't like starting over. It's not even sometimes. Most times people don't. This is why a lot of times people stay in relationships that they really ready to get up out of. But then the problem is you're trying to replace it so quickly, as opposed to just enjoying the companionship of someone. See, the thing about it is this. I think people, when they hear companionship, they don't hear exclusivity. And honestly, it can be exclusive, but it doesn't have to be for you, because certain parts of your life, this is what it is. I'm going to tell you where I got this from. I wasn't even talking to somebody. I was watching Martin, Skybox episode. Simon, older guy, rich, and already said he's been married a few times. He proposed to Pam. He says, she was like third wife. He was like, yo, I'm impulsive. But he said, don't get it twisted. I'm paraphrasing. All my wives are Like they were taken care of. They were taken care of very well. So me and you can kick it. We gonna travel the world. We gonna have a good time. There's a slight chance that I might want to deal with somebody else. She couldn't handle that. Even though she said she wanted marriage and all this other stuff. And women will put out there, oh, you got to have the bag. You got to be about that money. You got to be this, that, and the third. Simon, I'm not saying Pam was on that. I'm just using Pam as a example. But there's women out here, oh, I can deal with that. No, you can't. Because if a dude straight up tell you, look here, we going to chill for a minute. We going to have a good time. But if it's over, you still going to get taken care of and you're going to be good. But the problem is when women get that guy that's actually doing that can cheat. Now, I'm not going to say cheating. When you live that kind of life, it's an expensive lifestyle. Clearly, he was uber rich. So he can do that kind of thing. The average dude ain't able to just be taking care of all his exes. But I'm saying all that to say this. He just wanted companionship. And he was like, this companionship might last 3 years. It might even last 6 months. But this is the course that it's going to run. I'm fine with allowing it to run its course whenever it is, whether it's 6 months or 3 years. I'm cool with running that because guess what? I'm not looking to replace you next. I'm just going to find another companion and we going to do this merry-go-round again off the heels of just being companions. And I believe the older you get, that you understand companionship a lot better than just being in a relationship. Because a relationship, it takes work.
Yeah.
It takes consistency. It takes, you have to always feed into it. You have to work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But companionship, hey, you into this, I'm into that. I don't stress you, you don't stress me. And it all sounds perfect, and it doesn't sound like you're building anything, but you kind of are. Because I know for a fact, I've been in relationships that were probably companionship type of relationships. And them joints last for a few years. It was just, I ain't gonna lie, most of the times the woman, after a while, wanted more. And I kind of was like, we kind of good where we at. This is what it is. This is all I got.
So I think that I think you're right. I think older, in my experience, talking to a lot of older gentlemen and some older ladies, they prefer the companionship over relationship, especially if they've been married. So they prefer to be in, hey, I see you when I see you. You the one that I call when I want to go to the movies. You the one that I call when I want to hang out. But, I've been married, the relationship thing, I got kids, I got, you know what I mean? And it don't really lend itself to like full-fledged relationship. I don't want to move in with you. I don't want to do these. I got stuff going on. So I see it a lot in older people, and I see it a lot in busy people. You know what I mean? People that got bread or that got a demanding job and got doctor or something, like, yo, I'm on call all the time. Like, yo, my free time, I need a companion to spend my time with, but I don't really need like a full-fledged relationship where you over me, checking on me, and need to know where I'm at, need to know what I'm doing. I gotta move and shake. You see what I'm saying? I might be over in this state one day, this state the next day. You know what I mean? But when I take my vacation, I would like somebody that I'm cool with, that we can hang out, that we got similar interests and stuff like that to hang out with. I think that's more companionship than a full-fledged the fantasy of a relationship and getting married and stuff. You know what I mean? I think that as you get older, you kind of cherry pick the things that were in your previous relationships that you enjoy, that you want to be a part of your life, and you look for that in people, and you're more open and honest about what you want. That's why you see a lot of older couples, especially in their like 50s, that, hey man, no, we don't live together. No, we don't see each other every day. but maybe once a week, maybe a couple times a month, we get together and we have a good time. You know what I mean? Like that's what I need. Or you see a lot of people that make a lot of money that have that work. Their work is demanding. You know what I mean? They have that person. You know what I mean? That they can call when they need to, some connection and something like that. But it's not necessarily you know what I mean? I'm going home every night and I need to know where you at, and you don't need to be messing with nobody else. It's more of a, hey, we don't need to talk about that. When we together, we together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just be safe if we having sex. Sometimes, especially in older people, sometimes sex is not even involved. I just need somebody to chill with. Like, you just cool.
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like, yes. That companionship is very underrated. It's very underrated. Somebody that you can really, really just vibe with. You know what I mean? It's very underrated because people live in this fantasy world where, they want to get married, they want to have kids, and they want to do all these things. And that's cool. We all do these things, but, as you get older and the fantasy didn't come to fruition, now what? You know what I mean? Or you had the fantasy and for whatever reason, now that's over. Now what? You know what I mean? You going to do it all over again? It's not the same.
Yep. So basically, the white picket fence, the dog, the kids and stuff like that doesn't have to be the end goal. Everybody has different goals. Stop looking towards celebrities and everybody else talking about these are goals. Look here. Your goals or whatever you choose to make them, and nobody's there to judge them, and nobody's there to tell you if you're up or if you're wrong. So that's it, because we need to stop chasing other people's versions of their lives and trying to fit it into our life. And it's simple. You already know if you got a square and you a circle, you know it can't fit into that peg. And there's no need to, and you don't have to jump the gun to make it. I'm Oshin. That's Willie Negro. See you next week.
Peace.